What is going on, everybody? Today, we're breaking down the tape of Austin Booker, who made his first official start against the New York Giants. There were a lot of really nice moments on tape. There are moments where he flashed upside, and there are moments where he struggled a little bit going up against Andrew Thomas, one of the best left tackles in the NFL. And today, I want to study some of the different snaps. We'll look at the good, we'll look at the bad, we'll look at the ugly. I do think he's gotten a lot better as a run defender, and you saw a lot of plays that he made against the run, especially early on in the game. I'm excited for this video, man. So this is going to be the first play we're going to break down. It's going to be a zone run to the right. Booker does a great job with the hands. And, one of the improvements that Booker's really made this season that I'm seeing over these first two games is going to be against the run. It's being able to anchor down against the run, being able to get the hands into these offensive tackles. It's really just being an overall football player, not just a pass rusher. And on this one, he does a great job setting the front side. And the running back's going to try to bounce this to the outside, and Booker's right there, setting that gap, and he's in there. He helps make the play. This one loses 2 yards. That's a really good job in terms of doing your job, setting that front side and essentially making the play. And truth be told, yesterday, Booker made the play against the run probably like 5 or 6 times. The guy was really good out there. On this one here, you're going to get a run stunt, and I love how Booker just recognizes this as fast as he does. Now, obviously, the run stunt that he does goes right into the actual play, but do keep in mind, as Billings here shoots the outside gap and Booker comes to the inside, he has to process that, hey, this is a run. All of these guys are jump setting. All of these guys are coming outwards. So he does a great job keeping the head up. And of course, the running back ends up trying to go right into the gap that Booker's stunting into or slanting into. And just like that, he gets through there and blows it up. I don't even think the running back sees this, to be honest with you guys. And again, just quick, it's explosive, puts that foot in the ground, changes direction, gets in there. Just a really nice job on 2nd and 12. This one loses a yard. On this one here, you're going to actually end up having Austin Booker do a really nice job being able to slant to the inside. And he's going to essentially allow the linebacker to go free on this one. Both him and Grady Jarrett end up stunning to the inside. And Tremaine Edmonds ends up coming off the blitz to the right. So unlike that last play where Booker was the guy to go, while Billings was the guy that kind of slanted and allowed Booker to hit that gap, on this one, you're going to get Grady Jarrett and Booker to slant to the inside and get Tremaine Edmonds over the top. And the running back does pick Edmonds up, but of course you get a blitz off the edge. And C.J. Gardner-Johnson had 2 sacks yesterday. This was one of them. Really nicely designed play here by Dennis Allen. Beautiful job on 2nd and 10. Same exact drive, about 4 plays later. Austin Booker, 2nd and 2. Watch him do a phenomenal job once again against the run. I mean, this right here are the flashes that we're seeing from Booker that make me believe he's going to be a superstar caliber player. I'm telling you guys, this is how Maxx Crosby looked early on in his career. He was twitchy, he was fast, had an elite pass rush plan, right? The moves and the technique. It was elite, and you saw it with Maxx Crosby in year 2. And you're seeing it with Booker, right? He's getting a lot better against the run. And I'm just being honest, guys, this looks really good on tape. I mean, this is exactly how you take on a zone run when you're the front side defensive end. Hands land perfectly, you got Andrew Thomas going backwards, and to me, it doesn't get better than that. Not only do you have that front side gap contained, but then the best part of this is how he sheds. Look at him pull Thomas forward, goes around, rips, and he's right there. There's nowhere for the running back to go on this one, and he's going to kind of get in there and help make this play. 2nd and 2, that right there is an absolute superstar caliber play. And again, I know it's the small things, and he's not blowing it up, or there's not a turnover on this play, but I'm telling you guys, to do that against that caliber of offensive tackle is impressive. You got another play here. Booker's going to be lined up inside shade of the tight end. He's on the strong side of the formation. Once again, just do a really good job controlling the tight end, gets off the block, and makes the play. This one only picks up about a yard, and this was 2nd and 7. Again, look at the hands, look at the leverage. Really good job staying underneath the tight end. And then, of course, getting off the block, right? Shedding the block, not allowing that block to happen. Once again, 2nd and 7, blows it up. This one picks up about a yard. Phenomenal job once again against the run. You're going to get another really nice rep once again. 1st and 10, you're going to get a screen play to the left. But again, just a really nice job by Booker. And he gets a hit on the quarterback on this one. And I just love how Booker ends up beating Thomas. He's going to go with the long arm. He's going to swipe him. And he just continues to go pass rush after pass rush after pass rush. And on this one here, you're going to actually end up losing a yard. And I just love how he's able to turn this into a good pass rush. One of the things, and I'll show you guys the plays as examples, is Booker ran a lot of run stunts, a lot of defensive line games. there were a lot of plays that were designed, right? Like I showed you guys the CJ Gardner play in which Booker and Grady Jarrett slanted inside and Tremaine Edmonds ran outside. There's a lot of those type of design plays, and that's Dennis Allen designing plays, right? He's designing concepts that limits guys a little bit because instead of letting them just be straight pass rushers, they're trying to generate pressure as a team. We see teams like the Seahawks doing this, the Chargers do this as well, right? Really just get into like that team element of things. You got another play here. He's going to end up spilling to the inside of the guard. And again, by him doing that, this is going to allow the defense to make the play, right? So Booker is doing a really good job doing what he's kind of being taught to do. And let's talk about this play a little bit. So the entire point of this play is to basically get up to these guys. And then, of course, you're going to kick out here. And the gap should be created right in between there. But that's also assuming that Booker's going to take this head on, which he doesn't. He's not going to box this. He's going to spill it. Right? If he boxed it, it made sense for the guard to kick out. But because he spills it, you see the linebackers are able to kind of get over the top. So again, great job by Booker to play within the scheme of the defense. And this is the stuff that I really, really like to watch. Right? I love how Dennis Allen, or generally speaking, defensive coaches utilize guys. And a really, really good job to be able to help make the play. So it's 3rd and 3. You only pick up 2 yards. And then on 4th and 1, which is the very next play, you're actually going to get an incomplete pass. So that play ultimately leads to the Bears getting a turnover on downs. It's a really nice job right there. Let's get into the next snap. Now, if this is the first time you're watching this channel, or if you don't really watch tape or haven't watched a lot of Booker's tape, his go-to move is going to be this long arm. Usually he'll like hezzy inside and he'll go to this long arm. And it works a lot. And even on this one, you can definitely tell he outreaches Andrew Thomas. And the hand's going to land really, really nicely. Now, keep in mind, the quarterback's going to take one step and he's going to throw the football. So the ball comes out, so you're not going to have a real opportunity to get to the quarterback. But I really, really like what I'm seeing here from Austin Booker. Hezzy, long arm, and he gains that leverage on Thomas. But obviously the ball ends up coming out, right? But you see that leverage gained right there. That's a great job right there. You see that bend as well from Booker. So it's a pretty nice job to be able to get Thomas off balance. Here's another one. He's going to end up running a defensive line game to the inside. And he's going to actually end up generating a little bit of pressure. Takes the center right back into the quarterback. You'll see it a little bit easier from this angle. You'll see Booker right there going up against 65. Look at him take him right back into the quarterback, and you can see the quarterback can't really step up. It is a completed pass, but regardless, still a pretty nice job. Now, I should also just throw this out there if I haven't already said it. Andrew Thomas is a really, really, really good left tackle. He's one of the best left tackles in the NFL. And Booker did have a lot of snaps like this where he didn't do a whole lot. Now, I don't want to make it sound like in this video that Austin Booker just kicked Andrew Thomas's ass, because that did not happen. And I do want to make it fair. These are the type of games where you get better if you're Austin Booker. Because this play right here is a good example of this. On this play here, Booker's going to try 2 or 3 different moves. Right? He's going to fake an inside move, go outside. Doesn't work. He's going to try to reset, but Thomas kind of stays on top of it. And then he's going to rip. And he's going to be able to get around the tackle with that rip move. And then he generates a little bit of pressure. It is a little late into the pass rush. But the quarterback gets pressure, and he almost throws an interception on this one. So although Andrew Thomas wins the rep, I like the effort by Booker. Here's another pretty nice rep here. You're going to try to get a double hand swipe on Andrew Thomas. Quarterback's going to get the ball out super quickly. So once again, he's not going to be able to get to the quarterback. And Thomas does do a pretty good job recovering as well. On this rep, if you guys pay close attention, I'm going to slow it down. The double hand swipe is pretty effective. So you're going to see the double hand swipe. Thomas ends up leaning forward, but Booker's not able to get his footing. I know the weather wasn't great either. And I do think bad weather slows it down for pass rushers a lot more than it does for offensive tackles. But he does do a pretty good job with the swipe move. But again, Thomas stays right on top of it, and it is a quick game. You're not going to get to the quarterback. You're going to get a 3-yard run. Booker's going to do a pretty good job setting the outside gap. Gets off the block, comes in there, and helps make the play. On this next one, you're going to get an outside zone to the left. Watch the effort by Booker. Does a really nice job. Absolutely love the handwork by Booker. The tight end here has a block up to the safety. But he also has the responsibility that he needs to get the hand into Booker and make sure the backside lane gets created. And he's going to put that hand out there to slow down Booker before he makes his way up to the safety. Booker just swats the hand. You can see the tight end gets off balance. Tight end has the hand out there, Booker swats it, tight end falls forward. That's a great job right there by Booker. Absolutely love it. Running back tries bending it back into the inside, and you're going to see Austin Booker do a nice job. Now, the play does gain 4 yards, but again, I love the effort on this one by Booker. Just a couple more snaps that I want to get into. On this one here, Andrew Thomas is going to actually end up reaching Austin Booker. And this one's going to actually pop for 13 yards. This one's 100% on Booker. You have to do a better job. To me, you have to understand the situation you're in right here. So Booker is lined up between the tight end and the offensive tackle. So he doesn't have the outside containment that's going to be on the safety here, but he does have the gap in between the tackle and the tight end. And the tackle, looking to the inside, is going to end up reaching number 94. And as he reaches number 94, you see the gap just ends up right to the outside. So to me, you got to do a better job if you're Austin Booker. 13 yards, 100% on him. And I think he may have gotten pulled after this play, at least for this drive, but he did come in on the next drive. And on the first play that he was in on that drive, he's going to do a great job being able to come downhill, and he helps make the play. Running back tries to cut this back towards the inside. This one picks up about 3.5 yards. Of course, Booker ends up doing a great job chasing this from the backside. So really, really nice job by Booker. But again, can't get reached the way he did on that 13-yard run just to play before. And then, of course, right after that play that Booker just made, he makes what I think really does flip the game for the Bears. And he won't get credit for this, but he's the guy that essentially helps make this play. So he's going to actually end up beating the tight end. The tight end's going to hold him. And you see the flag ends up kind of getting tossed right there. I believe there may have been multiple holds on this one. But you'll see the ref here sees the hold happen. And the other ref on the other side over here also sees another hold happen. And you're going to basically end up getting 2 flags thrown on this one. But Booker was one of the guys that ends up getting held. So I love the fact that he ends up beating this guy to the inside. And with that, as he beats him to the inside, you get the penalty. 2nd and 10 essentially turns into 2nd and 20. And then on 2nd and 20, once again, you're going to get this outside zone run concept to the right. And you're going to get the double team once again. They're going to try to reach Booker. Booker's going to do a much better job on this one, staying inside that gap. And you can actually see the running back just ends up running this all the way to the outside. Only picks up 4 yards. You're going to get a 3rd and 7. The Bears are down 3 points at this point. And Booker does a phenomenal job destroying the center here. Or maybe the actual left guard. He doesn't get the sack. C.J. Gardner-Johnson ends up getting the sack. And Booker doesn't really make any difference on this play. But he does hurt the soul of the left guard here. I mean, look at this, man. Puts the foot in the ground, changes direction, gets low, and just destroys this guy, man. That is a really, really, really nice rep right there by Austin Booker. And after that last play, the Bears obviously go down. They score a touchdown. And with that, they go up 4 points. And I'm going to just show you guys some of these snaps. This was literally the final drive that the Giants had the ball. On this one here, I'm not going to do a whole lot, but he does contain the outside gap, which is another thing that I think sometimes people forget. As a defensive end, you cannot just wildly pass rush. You do have to stay you do have to stay as a pass rusher within the gap that you're pass rushing. On this one here, you're going to get a defensive line game. Booker's going to end up twisting into the inside. Doesn't get a whole lot of pressure early on, but he does do a pretty nice job just staying with it. And also just do kind of keep in mind, he did have a really difficult matchup going up against Andrew Thomas, one of the best left tackles in the NFL for a reason. And for the most part, he did find a lot of success against Booker, but I think he does against most pass rushers. And I want to just quickly show you guys some of the plays he made against the Bengals. He had a couple of nice reps. I didn't want to do a film breakdown, was not able to find the time last week specifically. But when he played a lesser offensive tackle, he for the most part found a ton of success. You guys saw that last play he made. It was a tackle on the run game. Here as a pass rusher, you see the hands, you see the quick feet. You see that long arm technique as well. Just a really nice job as a pass rusher to generate a little bit of pressure. 2 more plays I want to show you guys. You got this one, and then plus he had a sack as well, which I'll show you guys here in a second. Again, love the hands, love how he's able to generate pressure. And then, of course, the sack ended up coming on the long arm, which I showed you guys a little bit earlier against the Giants as well. It's one of his go-to moves. It's a hezzy with the long arm. On this one here, you basically help win this game with this play right here. Although this doesn't end the game technically, but you do put your team in position. As you get to the quarterback, you bring them down, you get the sack. Just a really, really nice job. Overall, really like what this guy is flashing on tape. He does have to continue to develop, right? He'll have to continue to take those reps, continue to get better. But I do think he will get to that point at some point where we can say Austin Booker is one of the better defensive ends in the NFL. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, consider subscribing, and I will see you guys next time with another video.